So, I used to have it all. An indestructible base. The most overpowered gear in existence. Even my own followers. But now I have nothing. I've been reduced to mere bronze armor, outpowered by countless other players. This is how it happened. This is how the modded faction god failed. Aight kids, time to take over a new modded faction server. Just gonna go through and pick out a very specific server which will take hours of research and days of scouting. Hey dude! Hey man, any good modded faction servers I should take over? Vault's community mod pack's pretty good. Awesome, I'll check it out. See you there, Daddy. Alright, we've made it into the server. Time to have a gander at what mods we have available so that I can figure out how to outplay the majority of the people on the server. Okay, so we don't have Tinker's Construct, so no beastly tools or weapons. No Ender IO, so auto-crafting certain elements will be a little bit more complex, and it will take some more time. No Armor Plus mod, so no Ultimate Armor, and no Industrial Foregoing, so no Mob Duplicate. Wait a minute. This mod pack's in 1.7.10. Industrial Foregoing is a replacement for Mine Factory Reloaded. That means... oh, hell yeah. Boys and girls, it's time to grind. Literally. I can see there's some custom recipes on this server, but hopefully nothing too intense. Let's start by making a set of power armor, for example. Kuba, that's my name by the way, you just joined the server 5 minutes ago? How are you going to make power armor already? Well, you see, this server has an interesting feature. It has a public mine, meaning one quick mining session equals tons of resources. In fact, it's enough for all the machines that we need and the base power armor. Wow! Now that we can process our ores and get double the amount we put in, it's time to set up a temp base. Now, what insightful tactic could I possibly offer you for creating a base? Honestly, none. I went like 300 blocks away from a random TP, dug down and hollowed out a bottom of a chunk. I mean, I also built like a horrible cobblestone monstrosity on top to make it look like some noob got raided. Honestly, basically a flawless strategy, really. So now we had a base, machinery and power armor. It was time to use our mod knowledge to catch up and surpass everybody. I mentioned Mine Factory Reloaded earlier. We can use the auto spawner to capture various mobs and spawn them. Guess it's time to make a platform in the end for Essence. Oh, apparently we can't do that. Great. Oh, hang on a minute, this is way better. See, Cursed Earth has a brilliant ability that spawns mobs en masse, meaning we can place it down and have mobs spawn on it, and then we can have a grinder kill them, and take all of their essence and all of their drops. Small issue with this, though. In order to get Cursed Earth, we need Silk Touch to pick up the Earth, and a Division Sigil to make the Cursed Earth. And in order to get a Division Sigil, we need to kill a Wither. And look, I'm going to be frank with you, I really don't want to grind a load of Wither skeletons, but we could just use a little trick that we've used before. Remember the Mob Duplicator? Yeah, we've got the auto spawner in this version. And we do have a little bit of essence from that end grinding, so we're just gonna do that instead. Oh, and here's a little trick for you all. The old school auto spawners behaved more like the vanilla spawners, meaning if we capture a skeleton, place it in the auto spawner, in the nether, the skeletons that spawn from it are more often than not wither skeletons. A simple grinder and boom, we have a wither skull generator. Now while that ticks over, let's get ourselves a Silk Touch shovel. All we gotta do for this is set up an auto enchanter with diamond shovels connected to our essence tank. Now all we need to do is wait until the first shovel was Silk Touch. Setting this up was literally not worth it at all. I could have just enchanted it myself. But hey, at least we have enough wither skulls now. I'm not gonna lie, fighting the wither kinda sucks. It's like super boring, so we're gonna make it the easiest fight of our career. With a little bit of steel and gunpowder, we can make a Barrett 50 cal, which does 50 damage per shot. A wither has 300 health. So in other words, 6 shots will kill the Wither flat. Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! So now that we have a division sigil, we need to activate it, and in order to do that, we need to sacrifice a mob on an enchantment table surrounded by redstone at midnight. I think it's time to channel my inner Sam and Dean Winchester and perform this ancient ritual. So I grabbed a few bits of cursed earth and set up an essence grinder in the main base. Wait, this is my main base? A hole in the ground? I swear this seems familiar.
We can log off and take over the world tomorrow. So, things didn't really go according to plan. Our base got raided. Who could have seen this coming?
Oh god, we need a new base right fucking now! Come on, come on, come on, there has to be something in here, there has to be something in here. Galacticraft! Yes, let's set up a space station, that'll work for sure! And so our brave hero started crafting, combining the various metal he's acquired over the course of his journey to create a rocket to blast off into space and make his own shelter. See, by default, space stations generate their own custom dimension per station, making it the perfect place for a base. Our hero managed to craft his spaceship, and then when he was ready, he jumped in and shot out to space. Alright, we landed, we have a space station. Now we cannot be raided. Oh, for God's sake! It's time to use my advanced modded faction knowledge and consider all of the elements I need to make the space station as undetectable as possible. Got it. OpenBlocks has a little known feature called Skystone. Skystone has an incredible, beautiful, powerful property of entirely hiding any block behind it by projecting the sky onto itself when powered by redstone. In other words, now you see me, now you don't. And with one redstone torch, we can make inverted skystone, meaning it's always powered. This won't make our base indestructible, but in a dimension filled with eternal darkness, it's like finding a needle surrounded by a hell of a lot more needles. Now that we have a secure base, we can focus on resources. For the mid-tier game, I recommend a digital miner. You can specify what ores you want to mine, and it has a nice, large area. With a few speed upgrades, it can even be rather quick. Luckily, Mechanism has always had the same recipe, and it's super easy to craft. They changed the recipe. They changed the recipe on this server. Boys and girls, it's time to grind. Literally. I can see there's some custom recipes on this server, but hopefully nothing too intense. Too intense. Too intense. Too intense. Too intense. It requires an elite induction cell. Too intense. Too intense. For a digital miner? Too intense. Too intense. That's 416 gold. Too intense. Too intense. Too intense. I can't even autocraft right now. I have to do it by hand. Too intense. 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 So after a little grinding and the longest crafting session of my career, I managed to make a digital miner and all of its upgrades. Finally, we were getting somewhere, generating constant resources from various mobs and getting a lot of ores when we needed them. Okay gang, I'm gonna rapid fire some stuff here because I cannot be bothered to go over it all. So let's talk about what I managed to set up. Set up a fairly large ME system to store items and control our entire base, an ore crafting section to craft everything we needed quickly and in bulk, a few big reactors for power, solar panels for emergency power, and new and upgraded mob spawning facility for endless mob duping, a location for every machine we could possibly need, an endless lava generator, and a ton of other stuff. At this point we were ready to do our classic takeover, but I figured what's the harm in waiting a little bit longer and generating a couple more resources. See, Minefactory Reloaded has this amazing feature called laser drills. Laser drills use energy to generate ores from thin fucking air, making it kinda powerful. Issue is though, even with a maxed out laser drill, it produces an ore very slowly. But if vanilla super smelters have taught me anything, why speed up a furnace when you can just have a crazy amount of furnaces? And so we made a laser drill array, which made us a lot more resources. With these resources, we could autocraft an insane amount of laser turrets, meaning now we had everything we needed to take over the server just like we did on Infamy. Yet, this video isn't titled Becoming a God on another modded faction server. It's When a God Falls. specifically when a modded faction server god falls. You see, despite my power, essentially infinite resources, there was one player I couldn't fight. He was too powerful. There was someone out there who had so much more power than me. Enough power to stop me dead and ruin everything that I had tried to achieve. And this is how it went down. The owner reset the map, and thus all my hard work was useless. I logged into a land I was going to take over with nothing more than bronze armour. All the paid ranks were out there, using their kits and donator mines to severely outperform me. My motivation was kinda low at this point, not gonna lie. But this isn't the end. A new season means more time to destroy my enemies. More time to plan a grand finale. And let me tell you, they are not ready to suffer my wrath. See, there was definitely one thing that I had ahead of everybody. I had a very highly operational wither farm.
Oh, that is fucking rapid fire though. Jesus. Fuck me, it's dead. That's insane.
I won't be showing it in this video. Heck, I'm not even sure if I'll show it in the next video. But let's just say that at the peak of this farm, we could generate about 30 stars a second. And even at its slowest performance, it could generate another star every 15 seconds. Far faster than what everybody else was doing. So trust me, I cannot wait to have some fun with that.